All right. Good evening, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the October 19th council meeting. This is our breast cancer awareness meeting. So before I ask everyone to stand for a Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence, I want to just read a couple of statistics to all of you to let you know where we are with breast cancer. So I pulled these right off the internet, of course, because that's where you get all your good information. This was the study from February of 2021. So here's a couple bullet points for you. About 1 in 8 U.S. women will develop invasive breast cancer over the course of her lifetime. In 2021, an estimated 281,550 new cases of invasive breast cancer are expected to be diagnosed in women in the U.S., along with 49,290 new cases of non-invasive breast cancer. For women in the U.S., breast cancer death rates are higher than those for any other cancer besides lung cancer. As of January 2021, there are more than 3.8 million women with a history of breast cancer in the U.S. This includes women currently being treated and women who have finished treatment. Breast cancer is the most commonly diagnosed cancer among women. In 2021, it's estimated that about 30% of newly diagnosed cancers in women will be breast cancers. A woman's risk of breast cancer nearly doubles if she has a first-degree relative, mother, sister, or daughter, who has been diagnosed with breast cancer. Less than 15% of women who get breast cancer have a family member diagnosed with it. And about 85% of breast cancers occur in women who have no family history of breast cancer. These occur due to genetic mutations that happen as a result of the aging process and life in general, rather than inherited mutations. There's a bunch of other bullet points here, but I think that hits the highlights. So most of you know that I ended up, I lost my mother to breast cancer 21 years ago on October the 8th. So this month is very special to me. I have a lot of friends and family members that also have breast cancer. This is me. This is my public service announcement encouraging all women to get their mammograms. UC Health partners with the city, and they bring their UC mobile mammography here every spring. That mammography bus offers 3D imaging. Most time is paid by your insurance. If not, they'll work with you. So please do your self-checks, get your mammograms, take care of your moms, your sisters, your family, your members, take care of each other, and let's do what we can to stop this curve a little bit. So with that, if you will join me for a Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, we've got some fun stuff in here, so let's lighten the mood a little bit, shall we? Jackie, you want to call the roll, please?
Yes. Mayor Velardo?
Here.
Vice Mayor Evans?
Here.
Ms. Russell?
Here.
Mr. Mitchell? Mr. Redmond?
Here.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Here.
Mr. Haskins?
Here.
Would anyone like to make a motion to excuse Kyle, please?
So moved. Second.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Okay. So we have an audience full of faces in here today, which is always great. I think we've got something we want to celebrate. Do you think so, Chief Mills?
I do.
Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. It's a pleasure to be here tonight, and I'd like to, at this point, have Sergeant West and his family come up and stand to my right, please. Okay. It's an honor to be part of this ceremony to commemorate the promotion of Robert West. Sergeant West actually began his new role on September 13th. However, due to schedule conflicts, that being both of our weddings, this is the first opportunity we've had to appear in front of council. Before we continue with the ceremonial oath, though, I'd like to talk briefly about the history and origins of sergeant. The word sergeant comes from the French word sergent, meaning a servant, valet, or court official, which in turn derives from the Latin word serviens, which also means servant or soldier. The English first borrowed the word from the French in the late 13th century to refer to both military servants who accompanied knights and those in charge of enforcing tribunal judgments. In those days, sergeants who accompanied knights were generally mounted soldiers who lacked the means to purchase the equipment and hire the retainers necessary to be recognized as knights in their own right. A knight's sergeant held a variety of duties, ranging from tending to and fighting alongside the knight during combat to pressing and leading groups of peasants into battle. In this context, the term sergeant became associated with a leader who trained and disciplined soldiers. In modern policing, a sergeant assumes command of daily operations in the absence of senior command staff. A sergeant also serves as a first-line supervisor of police officers and department employees in the fulfillment of their daily duties. The police sergeant's responsibilities, in addition to being a police officer, include the performance of administrative staff duties, briefing and training staff with regard to new developments, directives, techniques, conducting performance evaluations, and enforcing agency policies and regulations. Promoting an officer to sergeant is one of the most critical decisions a police administrator makes. To be successful, a police sergeant should be able to perform a broad range of supervisory responsibilities and establish a relationship of trust with the members of the department and the community. An outstanding police sergeant should be able to lead by example and confidently assume command when necessary. There are many skills required of a sergeant, but more than anything, it's their character that will ultimately determine their success or failure. A sergeant must possess a strict adherence to our policies, procedures, and most importantly, our code of ethics. And it's based upon those considerations that Mr. Doss and I made the decision to promote Robert to sergeant. Robert has been a dedicated officer with us for over 20 years. He served as a field training officer, a collective bargaining associate, and an acting sergeant. During his tenure, he's trained and mentored many of our officers. He's earned numerous letters of commendation, numerous accolades, and the coveted Larry J. Oaks Memorial Award that we don't give out annually. That's only for special occasions. So he's one of the few that actually has that recognition here. As the senior officer in the department, he's earned a reputation for his sound decision-making, positivity, and ethics. And it's my honor at this point to ask Mr. Manier to administer the Sergeant's Oath of Office. So he wants you to step over here so everybody can see you.
Thank you very much, sir.
Of course, I have to make a brief speech. Bob is an ideal City of Milford police officer. He has been. He's basically a law director's dream because in that 20 years, I haven't had 1 second of concern about you. So you have a lot to be proud of, folks. Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I, Robert West,
I, Robert West,
promise and swear to support the Constitution of the United States of America,
promise and swear to support the Constitution of the United States of America,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
the Constitution of the State of Ohio,
and the Charter of the Municipality of the City of Milford,
and the Charter of the Municipality of the City of Milford,
and faithfully, honestly, and impartially
and to faithfully, honestly, and impartially
discharge the duties of police sergeant
discharge the duties of police sergeant
to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
Congratulations, Bob.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen of City Council, guests, and family members. I'm not super proficient at public speaking, and it's out of my comfort zone to be the focus of everybody's attention. What you see here are the people that have made me the person that I am and still the people that I'm achieved to be, that being family members, colleagues, and council. Thank you very much. I told Chief Mills when he promoted me that he was going to get the best that I have, and I promise that I will do the best I can for this city. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
We
Thank
have,
you, congratulations.
we have no doubt. Would you mind introducing your beautiful family?
Yes, from down at the end, that is my father, Jim West, my mother, Sheila West, my youngest son, Peyton, my oldest son, Canaan, my very oldest by 2 minutes, 1 minute, Jade, and this is my wife, Lori.
Wow, I did not realize you just got married.
Not a lot of people did.
Well, congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You have picked a gem. We are very proud of Bob. He is all about Milford. He's 100% dedicated. I think Mr. Manier said it best. Nobody worries about him. He always does a great job. He makes us all proud. We're very proud to have him here.
Thank you very much. And while I just have the mic here for just a moment, I was speaking to Chief Mills before we came in, and we were talking about Mr. Manier. And I shared with Chief that Mr. Manier overheard my very first contested traffic ticket while being a magistrate in Williamsburg.
How
I don't know
does
if he
that make
remembers
you?
that, but I sure did.
You know, I could lie and say I remember that, but I do remember you, though.
Again, thank you very much, and I promise I will not let you down.
Well, we're not worried. We're very proud of you. So congratulations. Well
Thank you very
deserved.
much.
And you earned it.
Thank you.
You earned it. Wasn't
thank
given to you. You earned it.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you all for coming. You are not obligated to stay. If you all want to sneak out, now would be the perfect time. And you guys want to get some pictures up before you do down here?
Yeah.
Some pictures with everybody here, fire, police, family.
Where's best? Just right
You want us to stand up behind?
Sure, I want you guys to stand.
You just want to scoot in? Scoot in.
Do not leave.
Here, just move these chairs up. Come on here, Kim. Oh, Kim's gonna have to go up front. Kim and Sandy,
I was like-
you're not gonna make this shot. Can you guys see Kim?
It's quite all right. Kim, you could come over here and stand with me.
Move us around where you need.
Yeah.
Gotta get closer.
Closer.
Gotta get
Uh-oh. We need a box. Now we're both locked. Oh, you're good. No, you're important. You're important. You're important. We're not.
Get a picture of everybody. It's all good. Okay, we're all.
We're gonna need a bigger camera.
Hey, everybody look this way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Gotcha.
Thank you, everybody.
Congratulations.
Yes, congrats.
No, you're fine.
At least I didn't do what I did in my 12-mile race. I'll tell you about that later.
Tell me you tripped someone. Did you wipe someone out?
Yeah, I went.
Like dominoes? Like Tour de France?
Take our 10-second commercial break here.
Yeah.
Picture right at the beginning. Wee.
That was awful.
Did I do that?
Terrible.
Okay. I love those presentations.
Very good.
Okay, we were supposed to have another presentation tonight by the Kleininger Group that we're going to talk about the pavement management study, but we had to bump that, so that's going to be rescheduled for the November the 4th meeting. So that takes us right to proceedings. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from October the 5th, please?
So moved. Second.
Mr. Haskins,
Yes.
Mr. Redmond,
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Ms. Velardo,
Yes.
Ms. Evans,
Yes.
Ms. Russell.
Yes.
I believe we have correspondence from the Ohio Division of Liquor Control on behalf of Cracker Barrel.
Yes. Ohio Division of Liquor Control to Cracker Barrel Old Country Store, Inc., doing business as Cracker Barrel Store 507 at 475 Rivers Edge Drive, Milford, Ohio 45150. Do we want to have a hearing or not to have a
Make a
hearing?
motion to do nothing. Second.
Mayor Velardo?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Okay, I don't believe we have any financial statements for this evening. So that takes us right to our first public comment section. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to address council? There being none, how about we move to administrative services? Vice Mayor Evans.
Thank you, Mayor. We met on October 13th. Present were myself, Sandy Russell, Kim Chamberlain, City Manager Michael Doss, Finance Director Pat Worthland, and Administrative Assistant Jackie Bain. We approved the minutes from the July 14th meeting. First discussion was amending appropriation ordinances 2020-63 and 2021-70. Finance Director Pat Worthland reviewed a list of proposed amendments to the city's appropriations. The total increases exceed $900,000. Ms. Worthland informed the committee that she is in the process of filing an amended certificate of estimated revenue with the county, which will increase budgeted revenues by a similar amount. This means that the effect on the budget is minimal. These changes put the city's total budget at just under $20 million, the largest budget yet. The city is popping and the budget shows it. Also discussed were some new items, $718,069 for American Rescue Act program funds. The city plans to use these funds for water lines and SCADA, and $74,500 advanced from general fund to parks fund, while the city awaits the Ohio Department of Transportation refund for the walking path. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director prepare an ordinance amending appropriations ordinances 2023-63 and 2021-70 by increasing or decreasing the individual items as listed on the attached chart, totaling $932,604. Second.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Next, we discussed a portion of Sycamore Street to be vacated, which is 0.269 acres. City Manager Michael Doss discussed that we had applied for and received an ODNR grant for our walking path. As part of getting reimbursed for that, one of the things that they're asking for us to do is vacate a portion of Sycamore Street. A portion of the walking path goes through an area of Sycamore Street, which is in a grassy area of Riverside Park, which goes to Little Miami River. By vacating this area, the city can never construct anything on this property. If the city was to do that in the future, then we would have to pay back this portion of the grant. The committee agreed to recommend that the law director prepare an ordinance authorizing a portion of Sycamore Street be vacated at the intersection of Sycamore Street and Polk Street to the Little Miami River. Second.
Mr. Redmond?
Yes.
Ms. Velardo?
Yes.
Mr. Haskins?
Yes.
Ms. Evans?
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain?
Yes.
Ms. Russell?
Yes. And with no further business, we adjourned at 4:18.
Thank you, Vice Mayor Evans. City Manager report, Mr. Doss.
Thank you, Mayor. A few updates this evening in my report. The water treatment plant SCADA system, they are finishing up replacing the SCADA system, installing the hardware. They're running tests and diagnostics this week. If everything goes well, that system should be back up online and in service by next week, and we'll get back to some normalcy after our early breach that we had back in July of this year. Sycamore Street stormwater replacement update. The contractor is scheduled to begin construction on Sycamore Street stormwater line replacement next week, and they are anticipating that that project will be completed by mid-November. US 50 Lila Avenue Improvements Grant. I do want to let you all know, the public know, that OKI's board did approve the city's transportation alternative grant application in the amount of $750,000. That was the max that we could ask for. The city of Milford and the city of Lebanon were the only ones to receive that amount. Those grant funds will be used to provide improvements to pedestrian crosswalk access, decorative street lighting, ADA-compliant sidewalks and traffic signals on US 50 Lila, just past 5 Points. This project is eligible to begin construction in 2024. It's a 3-year pipeline. So we have some time to actually, our commitment of that grant, to use that as leverage with the funds that we receive through OKI, through the transportation grant, and bring that cost down. So we have a few years to play with that to reduce the city's matching portion of that cost. Again, a project for 2024. And do want to let council know, the public know, and specifically our Community Development Committee know that the city is working with McGill Smith Puncheon, or MSP Engineering, on a new canoe and kayak launch at Jim Terrell Park. This new launch will provide a better river access and will also assist in emergency response to the river and any rescues that go on the Little Miami River. Just a reminder that the state capital budget is a direct appropriation from the Ohio General Assembly and the Governor's Office. There is no financial match or prerequisite with this funding. The application is due to the Claremont County Office of Development by November 1st. Of course, we will be submitting that by that time. There are no standing committee meetings at this time. Reminders, November the 2nd, we have 2 big issues on the ballot for the city. We have our charter amendments and our park levy. We encourage all of our residents to get out and vote. Voting is important. November 4th will be our city council meeting. That is on a Thursday because of Election Day. So November 4th at 7 o'clock. And then November 9th, I see Pat Worthland out in the audience. Reminder that the city's budget session will be at 5 o'clock.
Thank you, Mr. Doss. I'll just segue into that online video that our council colleagues Kim Chamberlain and Ted Haskins worked hard on. If you're looking for more information on that park levy, go to our Facebook page or the city website, and you'll see an online video that we're doing, an online newsletter kind of thing, so you can get some more information. Kim and Ted put that together for us to take a look at, give you an idea of what the whole park plan is. Did a really nice job on that video, guys. Thank you. Good work. And yes, November the 2nd, vote. Chief Mills.
Hi, Mayor. I don't have a report, but I did want to recognize the By Golly's Golf Outing. That's our annual fundraiser for the Milford Police Community Partnership, which, as you may be aware, is how we fund all of our outreach, whether it's our Citizens Police Academy, Junior Academy, Halloween candy. Our big event is National Night Out and our annual Shop with a Hero. But this year, the golf outing raised $7,000, so that's phenomenal. Helps us to continue to do those things that we love to do. Also want to remind the public that Halloween, I don't remember if it was in Mr. Doss's report or not, October 31st, 6 to 8, we'll be out here again in the parking lot. We'll be out in your neighborhoods handing out candy and just making sure everybody's driving extra slow that night.
It was in my notes, so thank you for bringing that up.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Fire and EMS, Chief Baird. Good evening.
Good evening. I apologize, I don't have the written report in front of you yet. It got caught up in vacation, so I'll have that in the next day or two.
That's a pretty lame excuse.
First off, I want to congratulate Sergeant West. Bob's outstanding. I couldn't think of a better choice that the city could have made for that position, and we really enjoy working with all the officers, Bob included. So I want to congratulate him. I also want to take just a minute to thank the City Council and Mr. Doss. The 2 projects that he talked about with the boat ramp and the water tower, both of those have a huge impact on emergency services in the city. And I made it very clear early on that we were huge supporters of that water tower for sure, because as Joe and his staff do a great job trying to keep water in reserve for emergencies. But we fall back on the county interconnection in case we have a really bad situation, and this water tower and the storage ability of the city will just do wonders for my concern for a disaster situation. So, and also the boat ramp. We, as the number of water rescue calls that we're getting continues to go up, and it is very inconvenient and somewhat causes delays when we have to go in off of Ferry Street. Getting one that's really dedicated for that purpose, that's a huge thing too. Miami Township several years ago built one at the Kelly Nature Preserve, and it's really changed the complexion of how the emergency responders get into the little Miami River, upriver a little bit. So thank you for that as well. Just a few things. We are, for the month of October, wearing blue and pink T-shirts, as you see mine. And this is a new design for 2021. I want to thank Coyotes. They do a great job providing all of our casual wear like this, and they designed the logo on the back and provided the shirts for us. So we appreciate that. We've been involved in a lot of training this month. Again, thank you to the city for allowing us to use Carriageway Park again for rope rescue refresher training. We had 6 firefighters travel to Northern Ohio last weekend to participate in a very well put together engine and truck company training, and they came back rip roaring and ready to go. They were very pleased with the training that they received. And also District Chief Miller and District Chief Nickel are participating in a leadership academy. It's basically a 9-month class in conjunction with Loveland Sims, Blue Ash, Mason, Goshen, Madeira Indian Hill. I'm actually participating in as well. I'm kind of a hybrid. I'm not only a student, but I'm also a coach because of my rank. So we did our first 3-day stint a couple weeks ago. It was outstanding. And I can't wait to get the rest of the officers through it over the next couple of years. And
Where was that training, Chief?
so it was held at in Sims Township, but it's 6 departments, basically the Northeast Collaborative departments, along with Goshen and Madeira Indian Hill and us, who are involved in it. And there are probably about 14 coaches, and I'm thinking there are about as many students. And the idea is with that group to focus hard on the leadership of the personnel issues versus the emergency issues. We spend a lot of time, and they're well trained on the emergency side of things, but sometimes the training in the personnel and the leadership part of it is lacking in the fire service. And this directly addresses that. It's facilitated by a nationally known person in that field who is also connected to the fire service through the Brunicinis. You know that name, but a lot of leadership training came out of that group, and it's just outstanding. It really is, and I'm looking forward to getting back into it here in November when we have another couple 3-day stint.
I think these leadership classes are they're great because how you and I communicated in our, what do I want to say, age bracket demographics is not how we communicate with the younger people. And I think Ben
Exactly.
can attest to that better than anybody. Anybody who deals with younger, what do you say to motivate them? How do you get through to them? So that leadership training
that
has got to
was
be invaluable.
Large part of the focus was in the first session was
How do you talk to a millennial?
That's correct.
Yeah.
And it's not, and
It's true.
Reminding the older guys like me, look, they're
It's-
not bad, they're different.
Yes.
And how you deal with them.
And you used to be able to
Trying to.
cuss somebody out to get them to go do something, and they did it, right? Those days are gone. The way that we used to communicate is not how we communicate now.
The why factor. We've
Yeah.
been dealing with that for quite a while anyway. You got to give them a little bit of fabric. They're great men and women.
Yeah.
But they're built a
wired
little bit
different.
Yes.
They are.
So anyway, but can't say enough about that Leadership Academy. Just closing, we had a great open house on October 9th. We had about 80 visitors throughout the 3-hour period, and also we did fire prevention lessons for the first time in person again at Pattison with the kindergartners and the first graders, and had a great time. It was great to get back into school. So that's all I have. I apologize for taking so much
No,
of
it
your
was
time. Do you have any
interesting.
questions for the department?
Thank you, Chief.
I wanted to say Jay, I don't know for sure, but I think it was Jay that decorated the sign out in front of the station again with the corn stalks and everything, so looks great. Thank you.
Thank you. Council comments. Anybody have anything they want to share? Is anybody going to go to the brewery Halloween party?
We have a wedding. We'll be at a wedding.
Sandy's going. Anybody else going? Michael Doss?
Yeah, I might make an appearance.
Don't ask me what I'm going as.
Anybody
I
knows
need
Michael knows
costume
he
ideas.
loves Halloween. He is not going to pass a chance to dress up.
Yep.
I think it's great. I think it'd be a great time at the event center.
Yeah.
We'll wait for pictures.
Yeah,
I won't tell them what you're going to be. I'll
I'll
let
have a
them.
mask on, so
try
I'll
to
post
find
for
you.
any picture they want.
Anybody have anything else?
Just shout out to Michael for the grants. I mean, the money
Right.
we're getting through grants is awesome.
And we're still waiting for the big one,
Yeah.
the water tower. That should come at any moment, so hopefully we'll have some great news for you. Thank you.
All right. Mr. Manir, are you ready?
I am.
Ordinances and resolutions. There's only 2 of them.
Thank you, Mayor. Ordinance 2021-107, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinances 2020-63 and 2021-70. Now therefore be ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford hereby authorizes the City Finance Director to amend appropriation ordinances 2020-63 and 2021-70 by increasing or decreasing the individual items that set forth and listed on the charter attached to and fully incorporated herein pursuant to Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Said amendments total $932,604. Section 2, pursuant to, in accordance with Section 12.05 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance should become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Move to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Mr. Haskins,
Yes.
Mr. Redmond,
Yes.
Ms. Velardo,
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-107, an ordinance amending appropriation ordinances 2020-63 and 2021-70.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Ms. Velardo,
Yes.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Mr. Redmond,
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-108, an ordinance vacating a portion of Sycamore Street, whereas Sycamore Street is a dedicated City of Milford street, and whereas the City of Milford is desirous of vacating a portion of Sycamore Street in order that a walking path may be constructed on and over a portion of Sycamore Street, and whereas the portion of Sycamore Street to be vacated hereby is completely surrounded by real property owned in fee by the City of Milford. And whereas it is the opinion of the Milford City Council that there is good cause for said vacation, and that the vacation is not and will not be detrimental to the general interest, now therefore be it ordained by the Council of the Municipality of Milford, Section 1. The Council of the City of Milford, pursuant to and in accordance with Ohio Revised Code Section 72305, hereby vacates that portion of Sycamore Street as is more particularly described and set forth on the plat of said vacation, which plat is incorporated herein by reference pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.03 of the Milford City Charter. Section 2, pursuant to and in accordance with Section 12.05 of the Milford City Charter, this ordinance shall become effective immediately upon its passage by City Council.
Move to suspend the rules and read by title only.
Second.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo,
Yes.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Mr. Redmond.
Yes.
Ordinance 2021-108, an ordinance vacating a portion of Sycamore Street.
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Mr. Redmond,
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Ms. Evans.
Yes.
Ms. Velardo.
Yes. All right. That concludes our meeting. Once again, everybody have a great Halloween, and while Halloween is a lot of fun for the adults, remember it's a lot of fun for the young kids as well. So if maybe you have some Halloween displays out there, just make sure that they're kid-friendly for everybody to enjoy, not too scary or maybe inappropriate. Just try to be mindful of your neighbors. That would be nice. That would be good. Have a wonderful time, and see you next month. Oh, guys, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Velardo,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Evans,
Yes.
Ms. Russell,
Yes.
Mr. Redmond,
Yes.
Ms. Chamberlain,
Yes.
Mr. Haskins.
Yes.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween.